Hi guys, I think I need to make some setting here so we can start our live interview soon. I have to on this mic. Yeah, it's live now, and I think I need to invite my. Hi, Heidi, how are you? Are you able to listening? Is everything right? I can't hear. I can't hear you. So, okay, I think this is the first time I came to live, so uh, okay, yeah. Just a minute, guys. I'm just make some setting here. Yeah, now it's all right?
That's amazing. Hi, Dipendra.
That's
How are
fine.
you?
Yeah, I'm really stressed now because it is the first time that I'm doing this interview. So
That's
the
okay.
so I'm also
Everyone
using
has
the
past
first time
time.
this.
That's
Yeah,
chill out.
I'm using this system at first time, so there is something mistake in the settings, so I couldn't catch it
That's
properly. So how are you? Everything is all right? How was the day?
gosh. Day was quite busy because, as you know, our Dasai had started. So
Yeah.
bit of shopping.
Mm,
Yeah, with kids. As
mm.
usual, really. But yeah, additional Dasai stuff. So it was kind of busy, but it was good. How was your day?
Yeah, it was good. I was at home and I was preparing all these things for
Amazing,
interview. Yeah.
amazing.
So, welcome everyone. We are in the live show with my favorite coach Kamala is here.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah. Very very thank you for being here for my invitation. You accepted, and we are here now. We are in the floor, guys. So
Thank
I'm
you for
really excited.
inviting
I'm really excited to ask the lots of questions I have prepared here. So
me.
I don't know how much valuable information you get from here. I hope you get a lots of information from our coach Kamala. She have a lots of experience and knowledge. She is going to share with us. So first of all, I would like to share my some agendas for this interview. So I will talk bit about the objectives of the interview with her. So I think it will be good to know you why why we want to did this interview, why it is important for as a beginner in affiliate marketing business. So I create this interview. So I think it would be better to you to know the objectives of this interview. Then after I will jump into the her journey, her complete journey from the beginning till now. So how is the journey is going, and how was her experience? We will know about it, and after that we will talk about the most important part that we are facing in our current affiliate marketing business. We know that as a beginner, we face a lots of obstacles and the problems in this business. So that I think it will be great idea to share all about the to share the knowledge about the problems faced by the beginners. So I think this will be the a great session for our beginners, also the struggler who are in this business. So after that, we will talk about the specific topic. The name of this topic is Six Figure Academy. As you know, guys, before some weeks we are promoting this specific academy. So I think you may have some curious about these things. So I think we're going to discuss about this topic and let you know what exactly is this, how it works. Not detail, but in short
Yeah,
time
just
period
give
we
you a
will
brief,
catch it. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
brief introduction. Yeah, sure, sure.
Yeah. And after that we will get your all the questions come in the floor. Yeah. We will get the answer from our coach Kamala. That would be the great. And in final stage we will get some final statement from our coach. That's it, guys. That was my agendas. We are going through this interview. Yeah. So
Yeah,
so
first of all,
I'm
I would say it's a great agenda. You did really well. You
I
prepared it well.
yeah, I also think it's gonna be very long interview because I set all lots of agendas here. Because my intention is just providing the more and more values to our beginners and struggling affiliate marketers. So that's it. So, guys, before asking the questions with Kamala, I would like to share some objectives why I create this interview with her. So, first of all, we know that some of our, not some, many of our prospects have lots of procrastinations, especially in the time management. Yeah, in time management they have a lots of procrastination. So Kamala is the great example how she managed the time for this business. So I bring her in this interview. So if you are thinking about the time management, if you are thinking I cannot give the time for this business, this interview you must watch. Yeah. So we will gonna know about her journey as well as her earning. We know that she already made more than 25K from this business in the short period of time. So how she managed this kind of how she managed to earn this kind of amount just doing in a part time in this business. So in next uh, we gonna know about her time management skills, about how she manage the time for her family, for her business, and for her part-time job. So I think that would be the uh, best skill we are going to know from her. So um, so so our next objective is to providing value to you guys, to providing lots of value from this interview regarding to the problems and obstacles faced by our new affiliate marketers. So the next n- uh, so the next objective is uh, to answer your questions. Yeah, you may have a lots of questions during this interview. We're gonna we gonna handle that questions with a proper answers. So that's all our objectives for this interview. So I want to move on for her journey. So you're gonna know about the complete journey from the beginning to till now. So I'm not taking a long time for this special topic. So in short, I wanna ask with the coach Kamala to how you started your affiliate journey. What was your experience in the beginning, and how you slowly or gradually made a progress in this business, and where you are now?
All right,
So the
depends.
floor is
Let's,
yours, Kamala.
let's take one question at a time. Like you're
Yeah.
asking too many questions. So
Hmm.
if you're asking me about my experience, how I get started,
Hmm.
so basically, I'm not sure about your audience, but for
Mhm,
those who don't know me about, don't know about me, I am
mhm,
a mom of two little kids. I have one son who is 8 years old and daughter 5 years old. I also have a part-time job. I work as a staff nurse. So the reason I came into this affiliate marketing business was, when I had my son in 2014, I had to deduct my hours because I couldn't go back to full time as I don't have anyone here to support my kids, like my parents or anyone that could give me a helping hand. So we thought, as a mom or dad, like as a good parents, maybe like sacrificing my hours was the best decision. Okay, so from 2014 till like 2021, yeah, 2020, until my both kids went to school. I was like, okay, fine, this is me being a mom. I was trying, like, I did everything as a mom, but I wasn't happy with my half a salary, because before I had my son, I was supporting my family back home. I had few charities I was supporting, but like, after my salary was halved, it was quite tight.
mhm,
And
yeah.
also like going, like, your budget was going up every day, isn't it? With kids
Mhm,
it's already expensive, and again, growing them, seeing them growing up, there was lots of added cost to it. Like, my son started like taekwondo classes, swimming classes, tuition classes. You add them up, it was a lot. And like when they both started school as well, like I didn't want it to just stay at home and just watch Netflix or talking to my parents or my friends all the time. So I thought I must find a way to make money.
mhm,
So initially, I didn't even knew what affiliate marketing was. I was not a like social media person at all. I had a Facebook profile, but in that Facebook profile, I only used to add my photos when we go out and about, and that's it, really, and that's all I knew. And then I
yeah.
used to use my Facebook to call my parents, and that's about it. you know I never had any TikTok account. I never had any Instagram account, YouTube. Everything was so new to me. Initially, I started with Amazon. Because I was looking for the online option to see like which one would be best. Because first I was wanting to like make my financial situation better. Second was like I was looking for an option where I could do it from home, so I don't have to sacrifice too much time away from my kids. Because at one time I was trying to go back to full-time job, but we were like just trying to like see whether it's beneficial, and we were like, no, it's not beneficial because I will be rushing every day, 5 days a week. And the amount of salary I would get is not much, basically. So yeah, I think that was the reason I started to look into online option, and then I went to Amazon, did everything, like bought a course, bought a software that cost me like $500, got a sample from America, China, and it was rubbish. And I was like doing a bit more research about Amazon, like okay, what happens like if I can't sell the product, and seeing that sample product put me off, because I was like, no way, like even I wouldn't buy that product myself, so I don't think people will buy it anyways. And then I was like finding out more about it, and then I got to know, like if you're a new Amazon like a seller, then you have to do the paid ads to be in the first page. Otherwise, your product will be like in like fifth, sixth page, no one will see it anyways. So like or adding up all the cost, I didn't had like that courage to waste that much money. I mean, it works if you have big budget, but if your budget is not that high, then it's not gonna work, basically. So I gave up on that idea, and went into crypto because crypto was booming at that time. I was just doing like again searching few other options, and then one email just popped up saying you can start crypto with $200. And I'm like, $200 is nothing. Even if I lose it, it's not a lot. I obviously invested. I was like, fine, $200 is nothing. As soon as I invested, they called me. They were like, listen, $200 not gonna grow you much. You'll have to add more money. Obviously, I'm like, fine. My husband was very skeptical, but like, no, 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 people are making money. And then I added more money, and I was very proud of myself because I added 1,500 and I made 3,000 within a month. And I was like, wow, I am so good. And then my husband was like, why don't you take your 1,500 back and play with the money you gained? And I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea, just in case if, as like, crypto and all that goes up and down. So I'm like, fine, I'll just play with 1,500. And I called that account manager I had, and obviously he went into my bank, scammed all my money from my saving account and all that. So it was terrible. So while that happened, obviously crypto wasn't an option. And then I came across email marketing. Okay, I signed up for a webinar for a email marketing thing, and he was really good on the webinar. Like, I was like, okay, that's it, you just need to send email and earn money. That's not hard work. Like, I'm like, fine, they're gonna train me, everything will be fine, set up. Did email marketing, obviously, like, after that you had to do solo ads, and they were just doing like paid ads. They didn't thought of like, organic way. So again, stuck with solo ads. But while I was doing this solo ad thing, my mentor got me there. Like, she messaged me saying, hey, how is your biz going? And I was like, at that point I was so frustrated, I was about to give up. And I'm like, listen, I've spent so much money and I haven't earned a penny. And I told her like how solo ads were going. I invested like $300, like 50 people signed up, nothing, no one buy it. And like, no, 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 as a beginner you should do the organic side. I'm like, okay, there's something like organic. So sorry about all the ranting, but that's my whole story, how I came into, hyper marketing basically. And yeah, since I started this affiliate marketing business, it's been amazing. I wouldn't say it went straight, like, I got results straight away. I did struggle like most people did in the beginning for about 3 months, but um, it's like, building that foundation. Okay, so once you build that foundation right, then getting result is not bad. So that was my case as well. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I
Yeah.
also have the same experience. If you want to know about me, I I also invested in stocks. Yeah, US
Oh,
stock.
did you?
Yeah, I invested, and I spent more than 5,000 US dollar at that time
Oh,
when
wow.
I was in Denmark. So
Okay.
I also tried crypto.
um,
Some hundred of amounts I invested on that, and it was gone. So
I know.
so
Yes.
that was a terrible things I learned from my experience, the bad experience. So
Yeah.
after at that time I was looking for something side hustle, or I just wanna replace my full-time job, so that
Yeah.
I was looking for something at that time. I used
Mhm.
the stock, I used the crypto,
So you
everything.
tried everything as well.
Yeah, finally, finally I came here, hoping
Yeah.
that I'm gonna change my life,
Yeah.
especially
I mean, that's
financial.
the thing. Like, you have to try it until it works for
Yeah,
you, isn't
yeah,
it? Like,
yeah,
you
mhm,
are not made for everything. So
yeah,
you will not fail until you give up, basically. And you did
yeah,
the same, and I did the same. So,
yeah.
you should really just be trying and
Yeah,
trying until it
just
works for you.
yeah, we are the accent takers, so that was happened to us.
Exactly.
Otherwise, if someone are not accent takers, they are
Mhm.
they are happy in their comfort zone. Yeah,
Mhm.
we tried to do something good, but
Mhm.
unfortunately it wasn't work. So that
Okay.
was also the same experience as you have.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, I am
that
not
was the.
sure, Dipendra, whether there's any audience who is watching us, but I just wanted to tell your audience, like, if you guys are watching live, please
Mhm.
hashtag live. And if you're
Yeah,
watching replay,
also,
hashtag replay.
hashtag.
Show us some love, care button. That would help
Yeah.
us with our, Dependra's algorithm.
Mhm.
And also, if you grant your, if you click on that that dot thingy, then we could see who you are, like, who you're watching. That would help us as well. That would be amazing. And if you'd be catching this, live in interview in the later on time, just hashtag
Mhm.
replay. We know you guys been watching as well. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you so much, coach. I really forgot to say that one.
That's
That was,
okay. No worries.
yeah, I had to say that, but I was,
No problem. No
yeah,
problem. This is your
uh,
first interview, so
yeah.
it's
First,
fine.
I'm so excited, so that I think I forgot to say
No,
that
no,
one.
it's
Thank you for
fine.
that.
It's fine.
So,
That's the thing,
thank you for
imperfect
the,
accent. You are such an accent taker. Like, I'm very proud of you.
thank you
Believe
so
me,
much.
like when I did my first StreamYard training, I was
Yeah.
the same. Like, I was like, oh my God, how do I do that? Like, trying to figure
Yeah.
it out. And
Mhm.
that's the thing. Like, now next time you don't have to like play with things because you know
Exactly.
what
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
do it. So,
I'm
amazing.
all.
You're a real example of
Yeah.
imperfect accent, really. So amazing. Well
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I'm also the very camera shy person. Yeah. I didn't make any videos or TikTok something like that in the
Mhm.
beginning. Yeah. But things we have to face. Yeah. We have to. If we gonna take action, we have to tackle with the every new things. Yeah. So I think I'm working good now.
You're doing amazing, honestly. Like, I'm so proud of you. You're such an accent taker, honestly.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. So I just want to know, I think our audience also want to know about your first experience when you crack your first sale or your first high ticket. What was that experience? We want to hear that such kind of experience, because we know that in every first sale, that is the very different kind of excitement in this business. Yeah, I also have such kind of excitement, and we
Yeah.
want to know what was that time when you crack your first sale or first high ticket sale. What was the experience
Okay.
you can share?
My first one wasn't high ticket. It was $7, and I
Yeah.
was over the moon. I'm not kidding. So, I was. I think it was about a month in my journey already, and
Mhm,
I invited a person on a Zoom call. That was my
mhm,
second Zoom call,
mhm.
and then that girl bought a $7, freedom breakthrough, and I was like, oh my God, people buy it! Like, I was so happy.
Yeah.
And then I was like, messaging my coach. I'm like, I just made a sale. And she's like, oh, okay. Like, we got so excited for $7. Like, if you think, $7 is nothing, but that
Mhm,
first sale was so good. Like, it builds your confidence. Like, it makes it real. Like, this business
mhm.
is real. And if you talk about high ticket, I didn't believe I made it, really. I think Reza is watching here. Hey, Reza.
Yeah.
So
Hi,
Reza was
Ezra.
my
Hi,
first.
Ezra. Yeah.
So we were talking, to like I was talking to Reza, and then
Mhm,
she agreed, and I'm like, oh my God, yes, really? Like, did I really do that? So that first high ticket sale, like, it is amazing. Like, it's really like, that first high ticket would really give you that confidence, like, that boost your confidence, like, it gives you responsibility as well after that, like, because like, now you need to support that person. So good thing is, like, you will be like more willing to learn and putting that
mhm,
work in place. If not, then you're just doing it like, just blindly, like, you're just trying to hit the things and all that. But hitting that first high ticket sell, like, is amazing. Like, it's the, I
mhm,
think, like, after that, like, I got to 5K milestone, 10K milestone, like, I'm 25 now. So it's not a big deal. Like, obviously it makes me happy. Like, every
mhm,
time I make sell, it makes me like, wow, it just motivates me, obviously, like everyone. But nothing compared to your first high ticket sale, honestly. Like, it
mhm.
just like it's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, my first experience was also the like you. I also sell a $7 freedom breakthrough. Uh,
Mhm.
I I didn't reach out to with the people. The someone just came to my inbox and said, "I'm the interested one,"
Oh, wow, that's
and
even better.
yeah, yeah. Even that, in that time, I don't have the most knowledge about the affiliate market. I was just trying to learn every day. Yeah, I
Mm.
was just looking the others post other contents, and I'm trying to create my own content, or I am trying. I was trying to build my own business foundation at that time without any support, without any knowledge. I was just learning
Yeah.
in from the people who are already doing this business.
Yeah.
So the someone came to my inbox and I talked with him, and I'm able to sell the $7 ticket. That was the biggest achievement I thought,
Yeah.
because I think lots of people know about my story from my profile. Yeah. So
Mhm.
at that time, I was suffering from a lots of pain, especially the financial pain. I was just want to replace my job
Yeah.
to from the any other kind of side hustle or the online
Mhm.
earning. So
Yeah.
that was my the first online earning. So I was really excited and I was really happy. In fact, the tear was coming storing
Oh,
in my eyes at
I
that
can
time. Yeah, I
imagine.
really,
Can
yeah,
imagine.
yeah, to be honest. So that was my the experience. The first, also the same happened in the first high ticket. Someone came to my profile and she booked in the calendar. uh, we never talk with each other in messenger or in
Yeah.
other some kind of the apps. So she just jump in the calendar and book the call, and I started conversation. I make her to convince with the high ticket, and she bought the high ticket. So that was also like
I
I
mean, that's the importance of, you being showing up, isn't it?
yeah,
Regardless, because like,
yeah,
sometimes we get a bit demotivated when you don't see much engagement in your
mhm,
contents. Like, you
yeah,
think no one is watching, but in
no
reality,
much, yeah,
that's not the
yeah,
case. There are
that's
lots of
true, yeah,
people watching you.
yeah,
They're just like kind of stalking you, basically.
hmm, hmm,
And to be honest, like, most of the time when you have offer, those people who are engaging in your contents won't be the one who will be buying. It's more likely, those people who you haven't ever talked to them. Like,
yeah,
most of the time they will surprise you for sure. Hey Uzma,
mhm,
thanks for hopping on live. Hey Reza. Okay, yeah, we have two people
yeah.
watching. Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, so yeah, that's why, you should always be like, coming in front of your audience, showing up
Mhm,
every day. It's so important. So yeah, guys, if you don't get any, like, engagement, like not much engagement, don't
mhm.
get demotivated. Just, show up every day, regardless whether you want it or not want it. Like, you really have to market yourself.
Yeah,
And
that's
Divendra
true.
is a live example here. He got, you know
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So all right. So that was the uh, that was the first session. So in the next step, we are going to talk about the obstacle faced by the beginner or the struggling affiliate marketers. So I have noted some of the common obstacles. Yeah, common
Mhm.
problems. So we are going to discuss about that, and I hope you will guys get a lots of valuable information from our coach. Guys, if you are watching live, put hashtag live. If you are watching replay, put hashtag replay in future. So I would like to talk about the obstacle. My first obstacles, sorry, our the beginner affiliate marketer, commonly the first obstacle is about the procrastination. Yeah, even we are jumping in the affiliate marketer space, we are, we are not out of the procrastination. Yeah, if someone enter into the low ticket affiliate marketing, suppose if someone buy a $7 $7 ticket, and they are going to start the affiliate marketing business, but they are not, they don't want to invest in the high ticket affiliate marketing. Yeah, they don't want to invest in high ticket, so they are just trying to make some high tickets, just investing in the low ticket. That one, the investment part. Yeah, then the other part is the time the people say, our most of the prospectors say they don't have a time because they have their own business, or some of them have own jobs. Yeah, and lots of things they already have. So they told us a lots of time, I don't have a time for this business, I cannot do the tasks inside the business. So this kind of procrastination people say lots of time when we have the conversation with them. about the time management. They don't want to start the journey uh, because of this kind of procrastination. So what is your thought about this specific topic, procrastination? What would you like to suggest the our beginners affiliate marketers about this one?
Like everyone has 24 hours in a day, okay? We
Yeah,
have 24 hours day, 24 hours in a day. All the billionaires have a 24 hours a day as well, and all the beggars have 24 hour a day, okay? So time management is more of your priority management, like, what do you want to do with your time, if you prioritize something, if you know like something is really important, you will make time for that no matter what, like, for example, we have some occasion, like sometime, like, we have to go to party. Even if you're at work, you will make a day off, like, you'll ask for a day off, like, you will arrange it anyhow to get to that party if that's really important for you, okay? Not only party, like anything, like, for example, being a mom, I would make time for my kids no matter what. I will just, like, because my kids are my priority, I will make time for for them, like, I might just leave my other stuff behind. So time is all about, time management is all about priority management and having awareness that, like, where you are, spending lots of time, like, because most of time we are not aware of the time we are wasting, like, because we think that's just a normal thing. But if you really, like, make a journal, like just write it down, like whole day what you do, like, you will be amazed to see like how much hours you have in a day that you can actually, spend it in your business or anything you want to do. And yeah, and so I would say, if you think you do not have time, think back again. Maybe you could sacrifice 2 hours sleep every day, and if you be consistent with that 2 hours every day, that compound effect of that 2 hours will give you a huge result in long run. Obviously it's not going to happen overnight, it will take a little bit, and depending on how much time you can give, it will, the result may vary. But as long as you put that word consistently every day, you will have that result. So it's more about, like, finding out, like, what thing can you give up. Maybe you can give up watching TV, like, maybe you have a habit of watching TV 1 2 hour before you go bed, or maybe you are talking to your friends or, like, your family every day, like, mindlessly, like, nothing important. Or maybe, like, you're just scrolling through the social media not knowing, like, you're spending an hours and hours, which is easily done. Like, I've done it, I'm sure most people have done it. They're really, like, time waster, isn't it? Like, you don't even realize, because you check one thing and then, like, next thing and next thing. So basically having awareness that, okay, this is the time I'm spending in this task, and then identifying what is important for you. Is this important for me? If not, then cross it out, and then just, like, see, like, what is, like, really important in that day. If that thing is not that important in that day, then you can maybe delay it for later on. Or maybe some things that, you do not really need it, they're not productive at all, like, they're not giving you any result, they're just there for you to, like, entertain, or, to, like, to keep you in that comfort zone, basically. So if you realize that, if you have that self-awareness of where you spend your time, then time management is not that hard. And with regards to procrastination, listen, everyone does, okay? Everyone does procrastination, like, again, like, Dipendra was camera shy person, I was a camera shy person. As I said, like, me being a staff nurse, I didn't even knew what TikTok was, I didn't knew what Instagram was. And for me, coming in front of camera was out of question. If my mentor had told me when I started my business, like, hey, you will have to make these videos, you'll have to teach people, I would never have said yes, I think. But after I was jumping all in, I just found out that, like, I have to, like, I have to do this, because if I don't get success. So I got, like, slowly, like, seeing other people doing the same thing as well, like, taking that those imperfect action, like, knowing that no one is perfect, everyone is trying their best, best to get results, to get better every day, motivated me. I was checking even this TikTok video. If you go back in my profile, if you go right down, you won't see me. It was just the floor, and all that. And then after that, I was like, okay, I saw someone doing cartoon character. I'm like, fine, cartoon, like no one will see me, here with camera cartoon.
Yeah.
And then after that, like few people were talking, and I'm like, you know what? I can talk better than them. Like I'm just underestimating myself. And there you go. Like I'm talking now, and not a problem now, because no one is perfect, and I know that, and I'm not perfect, so it's fine as long as, like, because the other thing is, like, people will like for who you are, basically. They don't like a robot who is very perfect. They like that imperfect, like, they like your authenticity, you know because English is not my first language, and my some of the pronunciation or grammar might be like wrong, but I don't care. Everyone is the same. No, everyone,
Yeah.
there are only like few people who are really, like, maybe good in English, but it doesn't matter. We are good in other languages. Maybe some people only know one language, whereas we know three, four languages. So having that confidence, like, being proud of who you are will really help. And then how that happens with, by killing that procrastination and doing that action, and then just doing it at that time, rather than you saying, okay, I'll do it later. Just leave it, do it now. Like, one of the motivational video from Mel Robbins. I'm not sure whether you guys know her. She's American, like, motivational speaker. She was talking about this kind of thing, and she was like, anytime you have something, in your head that's stopping you from taking action, just forget everything, count 3 2 1, do it. Like, just press it and done. And I was like, wow, yeah, sure, I think that's amazing. And that's what I did, I think. And then my first live, in one of the challenges I was part of, I did for 1 minute video. Okay, it was nothing much. I didn't have to do nothing really. I just had to introduce myself, saying, hey, I'm Kamala, I'm a high ticket affiliate marketer, and just to say that I'm from UK, like, just about myself. I didn't have to think nothing. But that 1 minute video, I took about half an hour or maybe 40 minutes, because I was taking it, deleting it, taking it, deleting it. Because every time I speak something, like, I feel like, oh my God, this is not making sense. It doesn't make sense. So yeah. And then after that first video, and then, when I was repeating again and again, it was okay then. Like, I was happy with it, and it just got better and better every day. So yeah, like, do not procrastinate. Just do it. Like, just be bold, do it, believe in yourself. No one is perfect, and no one will laugh at you, being imperfect. They will praise you for taking that action. They will motivate you. And if someone is not motivating you, they're not your friend. Just unfriend them, it's fine.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, absolutely. So, guys, I hope you well understand about the procrastination, about the time management, also the investment. Yeah, the all experiences here about her procrastination as well. I also have some of the procrastination I overcome from those things. So this is the way we work. Yeah, the another is
Sorry,
you know.
Dipendra, to
mm,
disturb you. I just need to get a charger. My
yeah.
battery is running down.
Yeah,
Just give me 2 minutes.
me too.
Take
Miles,
a
I'm also
second.
holding the charger here. No worries, no worries. So, guys, so we are learning a lots of things from her, from her experience, from her knowledge. So, the procrastination is the biggest challenge, biggest blockage for our the progress for our business. So, if you have any kind of procrastination, just remove it from your brain. Yeah, remove it from your life. This will absolutely change your life in the better way, in the another way. So also the thing is, the beginner, the most of the beginners who just enter in the market, they don't want to invest as much for this business. Yeah, they don't want to invest for their mentor. Yeah, for their coach. They just want to try. Let's see what's happening. I just want to enter, and I just want to see the what the result will be happening. They
Yeah.
just came through that kind of mindset. Yeah, they don't have the investment mindset to grow their business, to boost their affiliate marketing. So what would you would like to suggest to those people who have the procrastination about the investment?
I think, again, not blaming them. I was one of them, because what happens is, like, especially affiliate marketing, when they enter into this affiliate marketing world, they don't understand that this is a real business, okay? Because most of the time you come across that YouTube video, or most likely a TikTok. I think TikTok is very famous, like, and then in TikTok, like, most people say, hey, you spend $7 and then you can get, make 5K and all that stuff. And also, like, they get to know that, okay, you can grab those affiliate links for free. And all the organic business is like, you can do business in free platform like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and all stuff, like, so they don't realize that, this is a real business. You need a real knowledge and skills to make it work, so I think that's why they initially they get they have that kind of mindset, like, they can just do it themselves without spending money. And that's a mistake, like, all of us do. Like, I did initially, like, I invest in $7. I didn't want it to like 1400. I was like, oh my god, that's a big money. And especially because I've invested in email marketing, I've invested, in crypto, I've invested in Amazon. I'm like, I'm not going to spend more money, because they, none of them were working, so I'm like, this might be the same thing, really. I might just, lost my money. If I make one sell, if I believe, then I would start investing. That was my mindset. Struggle for 3 months. I tried everything. I was watching lots of YouTube videos, I was reading about it. Did I make a sell? No. Not at all. Like, until I invested in a course. Like in December, I was like, I was really frustrated at that time. I'm like, okay, fine. You know what? And I was watching one of the videos about, about investment and all that. And then that person said, like, if you really want to uh, do it, you have to go all in. You can't just have your half foot in and then whole body out, and then you are expecting to, like, get good results. I'm like, yeah, that just strike me. I'm like, yeah, if I want to do it, I really have to invest in, because I need to know, I need to deep dive inside this business, to know what this business really is like, what it takes for me to get successful. Again, like, giving up wasn't a choice at that point, because I've tried so many things. So I had to make this work, basically. So I'm like, okay, fine. So not only I invested in the high ticket, I even hire extra quotes. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make it work, like, so December I had like one mentor, one coach, and that's that. Like, for a whole month I was just coaching, like twice a week. I had a coaches, like, training me. And then I was really like implementing whatever they were teaching me. And from January, boom, like, I was making so many high tickets. I was like, oh my god, really, it works, like, and that's it. That's where my journey started. Like, it didn't just start from one day. I struggled for 3 months, as I said. But having that mentor, having that coach, having that accountability partner, it's so important. I can't stress enough, like, without that, if I hadn't taken that action, if I was holding that money in December, then I would still be struggling, and I can guarantee that. So for all the new affiliate marketers, like, who are coming in this business, who is thinking twice to invest, I would say, please do not think twice. Do some research to see who is good fit for you to work together. Make sure that person is genuine and ethical, and invest in that person. You will get lots of, like, ROI from your investment. Again, like, time is more valuable than money. So, it's better to invest it, and then, get more ROI from there, than just keeping that money. And especially, like, nowadays, like, I don't know, like, in other countries here, like, interest rate in your saving is kind of 0%, so money is not growing from there. Whereas if you invest in a proper mentoring and coaching, you will get 100 times of your investment back. So definitely I would highly suggest, please do not procrastinate. Invest in a mentor or coach, and then you will see, the result coming to you, as long as you implement what you learn.
That's great suggestion. That's great. So I
Definitely.
hope the people will understand from your learning experience. Also,
Mhm.
I also had some kind of those kind of procrastination about the investment as well
Yeah.
as. So I think you guys have a lots of information, lot of the knowledge, lots of knowledge from her. So next, another important obstacles that the beginners are facing is overwhelming. Yeah,
Mhm.
when they are coming into the affiliate marketing business, they are start learning. Yeah, they are start in the first phase, they are going to learn everything inside whatever elements we have to study inside this business. They are start learning. So the information comes from the everywhere. Yeah, from our fellow affiliate marketer, fellow coaches, from our learning portal, different kinds of books, all those things we are getting information from everywhere. So the people who are coming just in the market, they feel overwhelmed. Yeah, they,
Mhm.
and this kind of overwhelming, they could stop their journey. Yeah, there are lots of chances. People are just thinking, before they come to the market. So let's see what will be happen. We can earn all much money from here in the short period of time. They think like that. So when they get all the information from everywhere, they came to understand that we have to learn lots of things inside here. We can't get result soon. So that's the things the beginner are facing in their first stage. Yeah, so what would your suggestions how to overcome from uh, this kind of overwhelming in this business while they are starting in the in this affiliate marketing business? What would be the best
Uh,
solution from your side?
I think, like, getting overwhelmed is natural, especially if you are someone who doesn't have any marketing background at all and you coming in here and then you get lots of information. So you can get overwhelmed. Again, that's why you need mentor or coach who can guide you step by step so you don't get that overwhelmed. Okay. And if you don't have someone who guide you, what happens in here is, like, if let's say you invested in a program, most of the program are designed to, like, teach all the platform at a, at one time. It won't tell you, like, just focus on one thing until you get results, because I have invested in two programs and none of them say that, because they were like, okay, try TikTok, try Instagram, try Pinterest, try Facebook, and while you are new, if you try to be on different platform, obviously it's going to be too much work for you, even learning one platform at the beginning is a lot of work, even just to write a piece of content when you're just starting out will take long time, so getting overwhelmed is very easily done. But what I would say is, like, this is like, not a, you know get quick rich scheme. And also, like, Rome wasn't built overnight, it took long time. So knowing that, where you at in your business, what you need to set that foundation first, like basics right, you initially just need to get your basics right. Don't try to be fancy, don't try to get funnels and email autoresponder and be in TikTok and Instagram and everywhere, being omnipresent. They will work, definitely work, but they will work at certain point when you have, reached to that level, basically. But if you're just beginning, then just focus on one thing, just focus on one thing, and then follow your coach or mentor, whatever, like, they're suggesting you, because they've been through your path. They know how difficult it is, like, they know, like, the framework, they know the path, to make it simplified. So that's why, like, I would say, like, just focus on one thing, take one thing at a time, like just be 1% better every day. Don't try to do lot of things one day. Again, like, some people try to do everything in one day, like, they might be just stuck in the computer or trying to learn everything, like, in one day. And then because they are like so much information, like, they're information overload. And because, like, they're not implementing, they're in a learning zone, like, when they come back to it, I'm like, okay, okay, so we have to go back again because, like, there's so many things they've learned, and it's not going to help at all. Like, and that will create that overwhelming. Whereas if you take one thing, like, maybe just today, let's say you're doing Facebook marketing, maybe if your first day, just focus on optimizing your profile. Second day, write your backstory. Third day, like, know what is your daily to-do list, and then be consistent with that daily to-do list. Know that platform well, and you know um, um work until you start getting result from that platform before you, like, branching out to another one. With that, it will definitely help. The second reason, as you said, depender, people get overwhelmed because they think it's like, quick, they will get money quickly, and when they realize it's not that easy, like, it will take lots of time and effort and everything, and they're starting to get overwhelmed because they're like, oh my god, there's so much work before I get results. But again, if you start to, like, if you try to run before you even learn to crawl, obviously you're going to fall down. So my suggestion would be, like, learn all the basics first, like, learn ABCD before you start reading book. ABCD, then learn to read words, and then try to make sentences, and then, like, after all that, reading a book not going to be a problem at all. Same here in the business. If your basics are right, then earning money from this business is not hard. Again, as Dipendra said, I only work few hours a day, but did that work magically? No, it didn't. Like, initially, I, like, it took long time for me to learn all those skills. I'm part-time in this business. Maybe that's why, maybe if I was full-time, I could have earned even lots. Because I'm part-time, I have limited earning, and that's fine. Again, because my priority is different. My skill set was different. So, it's just like, don't get overwhelmed. Just take one step at a time. Just get 1% better every day. That's all you can do. And, like, the compound effect, again, always about the compound effect, really, like, will be huge.
Well, that was the great suggestion, great tips. I hope our people are watching here and they are
Definitely.
getting a, yeah, this is a great tips. So another problem I also faced in the beginning when I tried to learn everything. Also, I'm trying to learn every day nowadays as well. But in the beginning, we as a beginner affiliate marketer, we see a lots of posts in a day, yeah, in our Facebook post, and there are lots of crazy results. Yeah, people are earning every day hundred of dollars, thousands of dollars. They are posting each and everything in the Facebook, and that makes me as well, that makes me really crazy. Yeah, I was so frustrated because I was not earning a single amount from the affiliate marketing, and the people are just posting their results day by day. In every second they are posting. So this I think this makes a lots of problem to our affiliate marketers in the beginning. Yeah, because they are not learning as much in the earning as much in the beginning. So how to overcome for this problem, how to overcome from this kind of problem? We are seeing the other result and we are uh, underestimate ourselves and frustrating those from those kind of results. What do you think, how can we overcome from this kind of problem?
I mean, you know what? I totally understand you, and I can feel that too.
Yeah.
The thing is, what you need to understand is those people who are showing their, their, what do you call it, the screenshot every day, hasn't got to that stage in one day.
Yeah.
Okay, because they've struggled as you did as well. You are in a beginning stage. They've crossed that stage now. Okay, so maybe they're earning those money, it's fine. And again, like, if someone is bothering you too much, unfriend them, honestly, like, and that's the reason, like, I don't want to, like, show all my incomes every day. But sometimes it's important to motivate your audience that, hey, listen, this is real business. You can earn this money too. Like, I was on holiday and I was still earning money. And I want to motivate those people who are procrastinating, not taking action. Listen, look, I did this work maybe like 3 weeks ago, and I got paid now. Like, I didn't even have to worry about anything. I was enjoying my holiday with my kids, and boom, in my bank there was money. And that's, for me, like, that is huge, isn't it? Like, so I post my screenshot now and then to motivate people, but not every thing, like, you earning, like, you don't have to do every day. And if someone is doing, like, lots of screenshots every day and not providing any value, then maybe that person is not really genuine, because you can create those fake screenshots. It's not that not that hard. And I'm not saying they are doing it, but they can, if they can do it as well. So don't I would say, do not um how do you say, like, all time you don't have to trust everyone. Sometimes they might not be genuine, and if they are genuine, if they're then showing you screenshots, it's fine. Take it as a motivation. Just say that, like, if they're doing it, then I can do it too. Like, I'm just not there yet. I'm learning, I'm building, and then one day I'll be earning more than that person. So take it as a motivation. Don't demotivate from that person. So take it like, if that thing is working for that person, that will work for you as well. It's just you not being in that stage yet. You're going that stage
Mhm.
slowly. And also, like, if someone is bothering too much, like, if I feel like, someone is just doing too much and eating your nerve, I would just unfriend that person. Again, you don't need those people, like, in your circle. If that person is not providing any value, if that person is just showing off, then you don't need those kind of people. If that person is showing off with motivation, and if that person is helping you, then that's fine. Because that person is helping you to motivate you, and to take you with them, then that's okay. So yeah, like, Facebook is the amazing platform where you can just unfriend them if you feel like someone is bothering you. But I would say, like, looking at those screenshot, don't get demotivated. I know it can be. I've been there as well. But take it like it's your mindset as well. Like, just take it in a positive mindset. Like, if they're doing it, then that's a real business. It's not a scam. It is working, so it will work for you as well.
Yeah, that's a great suggestion. That's a great
Yeah.
tips, guys. You have to do not underestimate the tips of the Kamala. Yeah,
Mhm.
thank you so much, Kamala, for
No
giving a
problem.
lots of tips and suggestions to our
No
new affiliate
problem.
marketers. Yeah. So the next important problem our new affiliate marketer are facing is the shiny object syndrome. Yeah, lots of people I see when I talk to them, they have
Yeah.
lots of products, they jump to the one product, and suddenly they have the another product in the certain time period. Yeah?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
have a 4 5 products, they have a lots of things. Why people are doing so? When I analyze that, they have shiny object syndrome. So they have a many multiple products, they have a multiple courses. Yeah, they are jumping from one to another. So what would you say about what the suggestion of to overcome this kind of shiny object syndrome?
I mean, like, shiny object syndrome is real, and I'm not sure about you, Dipendra. I go through a lot. I'm not kidding. I do.
Yeah.
And every time I go through them, I always talk to my mentor. I'm like, oh my God, this offer looks so irresistible. Like, I really want to jump in. And and then I think back again, do I really need it? Is it gonna add value in my business? Is it something extra? Like, because I have few programs, I haven't even touched it. Like, honestly, I really haven't. I won a program in I didn't have to pay for it, but that's a real, like, it's a really good program. But do I have time for that? No. I have two affiliate programs. Have I been through, like, everything? No, because I don't have time. And knowing that, like, just ask yourself, whenever there's new object coming in the market, like, um, ask yourself, is that product, do you really need it? Is it going to add value in your business? Is it going to improve, like, to take you from point A to point B where you want to go? If answer is yes, then 100% join. There's no doubt about it. But if answer is not sure or no, then wait. Waiting will not harm you, because one thing is, like, there might be just a hype of that program. Maybe that is not as good as it's been shown. Maybe it's just like everyone is just jumping, like, we human being, like, the fear of missing, like, FOMO effect. Maybe it's just the FOMO effect. So by waiting, you would know, like, it might, then you might just thank yourself, like, oh my God, thank God I didn't do that. So that thing is that. And then by waiting, like, you will realize whether that thing was needed. Sometime maybe that whatever program or like object is coming, maybe that would help you in business in long run, not just at that point. In that place, you can invest in that program a bit later, sometime, like you can do that later. It's not a problem at all. But I think having that awareness, like you have that shiny object syndrome, is really, really important. And again, like I go through a lot. I'm not kidding. Like last year, during this Black Friday offer, everyone was giving like really good offers, and I was telling my mentor, I'm like, oh my god, I feel like I'm a fish in a pond, and everyone trying to get me, like because everyone approaching me like with their offer, and I'm like, I'm looking at them like, oh my god, this looks really good. Looking at other person, this looks really good, and I want to get everything, and again, like I was just sitting back, and I'm like, no, I don't need them, and I have bought a few things, that was few silly stuff, like and then later on I just realized that you know what, I really didn't need it. I spent that few bucks, it's fine, but it was just a shiny object, and that had taught me now, like if anyone giving me like those kind of offer, I'm like, you know what, I have enough products to promote. I have my own coaching to promote. Like I don't need anything. I have my coach who's gonna help me and support me when I need it, and if I feel like I need extra support in the future, then definitely I would, but at the moment I'm good, so I would be like, that's fine, thank you very much.
Yeah, that's the great suggestion, because the lots of beginners are affected from this shiny object syndrome. Yeah,
Definitely.
so they are just jumping from product to product, course to course. That's not good thing. If you
I
saw
think
lots of
especially
value inside
happens.
that, yeah, I
Yes.
think I think if you are a complete beginner,
Mhm.
do not go for that lots of product or coaches. Yeah, if you see the good value on it, you can
Yeah.
go. But otherwise, if you do not see the lots of values inside there, so my request is, if you are beginner, just choose one product, one coach,
Yeah.
one platform. Yeah, that's great. I always suggest to the new
No,
marketers.
100%,
Yeah,
100%. I
I
think,
also do the same
especially
thing.
as
Yeah.
a new
Mm.
affiliate marketer, like when you're not seeing results, you get
Mm.
desperate, and you haven't really given yourself that enough time to build yourself up. As you
Mm.
said, you stick with one person, stick with one program until you get a result. Amazing.
Yeah,
Like, that's a
that's
great suggestion,
mm,
honestly.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So okay, so moving to the next obstacle facing by the beginners, so that is the objection handling. Yeah, the beginners, they are just learning, they are just implementing the things what they are learning, and in the final stage, the sales process. Yeah, they
Mhm.
lose they lose lots of money there. Yeah, they lose their customers because they don't know how to handle the how to handle the objections properly. Yeah,
Mhm.
so what do you think, what is the value of the objection handling in the sales process or entire affiliate marketing business? What is the value of that?
Oh my God. I
Just
think that's the
explain in short.
most
Yeah, it's a real or big
fine.
topic. Yeah, yeah,
I know
it's
it
need
is a
a
real
complete training.
topic. Yeah.
But we just want to know how it is important to handle the objections.
Oh my God, it's 100% important. As you said, I've done a detailed training in my
Yeah, yeah,
Facebook
yeah,
group,
I
guys.
saw
If
that.
you want
Yeah,
to
yeah,
watch like in-depth training, join my Facebook group. You'll see in detailed
yeah,
training.
that's great
But
suggestion.
this is the most essential skill. Like, as Dipendra said, like, most of the time we lose so many cells because, we don't know how to, handle those objections, because when you don't know how to handle your objection, definitely, like you'll be saying like, okay, fine, come to me later, and then that person will never come to you anyways, so I would say this is the most essential skill that you need to learn to get those high ticket sales, because we human beings are really attached to money, and we will object 100 times if we don't see like really good value in whatever product or service you've been offered to you. So if you know exactly how to handle like different kind of objects, and then it will definitely help you to like close more sales and get good revenue in your business.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, guys. So we need to have a objection handling skills anyway.
100%.
So I'm going to end this this agenda about the obstacle faced by the beginner affiliate marketer. Uh, at the end, I want to discuss about the motivational and self-confident factor, how it is important, how it matters in this affiliate marketing business, motivational and self-confident.
You know what, everything starts from within yourself. Okay, until you are like, until you believe in yourself, nothing will work. And that's from my personal experience as well, you know. Until you are confident that you can do it, until you believe that you are good enough, you know, the next person who is watching you, the next person who you're talking to will also feel that vibe. Okay, and then even when there is like even 1% doubt in that person towards you, then you're not going to make that sale. Okay, so it's really important that you have that confidence, you have that self-belief. Okay, with regards to motivation, um you know, you have to be motivated yourself. Okay, you can't rely on external motivation all the time. You need to have a strong why are you doing whatever you're doing, really, like, you know, because that strong why will motivate you and keep you pushing all the time. You know, like our life, our business will have ups and downs as well. Like, you know, not every day is like, you know, Sunday. You know, there will be days where, you know, you will get demotivated, there will be days you'll be feeling very happy. And when you are getting demotivated, you know, it is easily like, you know, done that you might want to give up. But if you have really strong why, you know, then that will motivate you, like, you know, that will keep you going. So it's really important that you listen to like motivational talks, you know, motivational, like, you know, yeah, more videos and all that stuff. But most important thing is, like, you know, it needs to come from you, like from inside, regardless of, you know, whether there is any external factor that is motivating you or not. You need to have that thing from you, from inside yourself, you know, and that will 100% will take you very far. Otherwise, you know, if you just depend on outside motivational stuff, you know, one day you might just give up, because, you know, those external factor will have effect only for a little bit, not for long.
Yeah, that's absolute true. Yeah, because lots of time in during this business, yeah, we have lots of demotivational factor inside
Mhm.
this. Yeah, so
100%.
we need to keep motivation ourselves. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
no one is coming to motivate you. No one
No,
coming
I'm
to
for
boost
you.
your self confidence. We have to
Exactly.
develop inside in ourselves. Yeah, that's what I'm learning also
Yeah,
from
be
this
disciplined
business.
on
Yeah,
whatever you do. Like, you know, just, yeah, rather than motivation, go with discipline. Regardless of you're
yeah.
motivated or not,
Yeah.
just do it, you know.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for that solution, guys. If you are watching live, put hashtag live. Do not forget to push the button of like, love, and whatever button you have in front of your tablet or mobile or computer. So, so guys, we are going to end of this interview. I have no lots of agendas now. So if you have any questions regarding to anything about your business, about your problems inside your business, you can just leave the comment. We're gonna discuss that questions and give you best solutions. I would like to request you, if you have any questions, please put your questions in the comment box. So uh, so I would like to discuss about the Six Figure Academy. Yeah, we know that the everybody who are our friends inside our profile, they know that we are promoting a specific product or program since the 2 weeks maybe. So I want to discuss and let them know what is exactly a six-figure academy. So,
Mhm.
so you can tell whatever you know in short. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, of course. So, you know what, to be honest, like, I had stopped promoting affiliate products for a while, actually, like, you know, not actively. You know, I was like, you know, giving them affiliate product if they wanted, but not actively, like, you know, promoting affiliate as such for a while, actually, because I was doing my own coaching. But when this Six Figure Academy came across, I was really impressed, you know, because the amount of value it's giving is just so amazing, you know. one thing is like, it's gonna build you from inside. It will help you to set that foundation rock hard, because it will be helping you to build all the skills from like, from like sales skills, marketing skills, closing skills, and all that stuff. Okay. Not only that, like, most of the program will have everything as I said, but it doesn't have the accountability thing, whereas here you'll have twice a week accountability partner. Like, they will be checking on you to see how you're doing, like, where you need help. There will be drills on you to see, like, what kind of problem you're facing. And if you're doing something wrong, they will suggest you, like, okay, not this way, this way. Like, there will be lots of help and support in this one. Not only that, like, I've never seen any program that gives you certification. Again, why do we go to universities and all that to get certification? None of other programs have given this, and this program will give you certification, which is huge, because once you have that certification, that will add a lot in your, authority and credibility, because you can showcase that, certification basically. And the third thing I really liked is, like, you also have opportunity to work with like 7 8 figures. You can see inside them to see like how they're working, like, how is they're writing contents, how, like, you can literally be in their world. And if you don't want to promote them, it's fine. Like, it doesn't really tie you with that. You can learn all those skills and implement in your own business, and which is a gold standard, isn't it? Like, and the amount of investment you're going to do for all this support is like nothing. And you also get my coach Dakota's like 10K accelerator. Like, I paid $3,500 just to get into that program. Now you get that one as a bonus. I'm like, this is insane. People pay 3,500 just to get into his group coaching, and now you're getting all that for, like, at the moment it's just 3,000. And again, you don't even have to pay 3,000 upfront. You can start with $1,000, and then rest 2,000 you just pay from the money you make from the same program. Like, it's crazy. Like, honestly, like, it's like investing a tiny amount of money for your future, for your bright future, that anyone can do it. Like, the amount of value it's gonna provide is just immense. Like, I can say it, like, I really got excited. Like, I'm like, wow, this is the program. Like, I could, like, I could trust, and I could promote to anyone and everyone, really, because I've been working with my coach for a long time, so I trust in him. I know how he works. And Steve Goodwin is equally good. He's student of Grant Cardone and Sikhe, all that top affiliates. So I don't have no doubt that whoever will decide to invest in this program will have a huge result. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, you need an accountability partner, and where in this program you will be getting that. You get boxer support, you get a Facebook group, you get all the portals. Everything that you ask for is in this academy. So, like, I would highly suggest anyone, if you're thinking to like accelerate your business from zero to, I don't know, up to 100K, 10K, whatever your milestone, whatever your goal is, this is the one.
Yeah,
Don't.
yeah. Mhm. Yeah, it's a insane offer I ever seen in
Yes,
this
yes.
affiliate space. Nobody guaranteed the
Mhm.
income. Yeah, we have a lots of coaches in this affiliate marketing
Exactly.
business. Yeah, there are lots of coaches working. They are guided their student. They are giving coaching, but they don't have any kind of guarantee they are
No,
they are able to make some specific figure in their business. Yeah, they are not giving such kind of care.
no,
what i
no.
what I most like in this business is they give a guarantee. Yeah, they have a
Kind
full
of. And like,
accountability in
if
this
they
business.
don't, they are in loss, because, like,
Mm,
for $1,000, 12 months of accountability,
yeah.
the amount of transformation you're gonna have, even if you
Mm,
don't make money, it will be huge
yeah,
anyways.
yeah, yeah,
And if you don't make money, they are in loss, because you're not gonna pay that $2,000.
yeah.
So they
Also
have
they
that
they are returning
confidence
the,
that
yeah,
that will
they
help you
are,
100%.
yeah, yeah. They are also returning the full year investment. Yeah, double.
Mhm.
They are giving the double
Yeah,
if you are
they're
not
gonna give
able to
double.
earn
Yeah,
100K in
yeah.
12 months. Yeah, yeah. That's nobody are giving in this affiliate space. And so there are lots of the features inside the academy. We can't talk all those things
No,
in the
good.
in this short time period, in
Yeah,
one
yeah.
minute or 5 minutes. We can't do
I
that.
would say if
So
anyone is interested, maybe comment and
yeah.
comment
Mhm.
down, and then we can send you a Google Doc if you want to have a
Yeah,
look. I mean, no
yeah, of
pressure
course,
really,
yeah.
but
Mhm.
if you want to have a look, let us know. Depender will drop that Google Doc in the comment section. You guys could
Yeah.
have a look, and if you're interested, again, contact Dipendra. Yeah,
Guys, the early bird offer is running. Yeah,
yeah,
it's only 3,000. You don't have to pay a 3,000 amount in one time. Yeah, you
no,
can just give a 1,000 advance, and
yeah,
2,000 you can just it goes in the profit payment plan. You don't have to give now. Yeah, yeah. If you earn from the academy, they will deduct it, the rest of the amount. So this is the great opportunity. Yeah. So
100%.
I
100%.
think
It's a no-brainer offer.
yeah, of course, if you are really interested, just do not lose this opportunity. Yeah? After sometimes they will increase the price. They will
Mhm.
increase the
It's
6,000
gonna
for
be
the whole
double.
course. Yeah, that will be the a big amount for us as a beginners. So if you are really interested, you can drop the interested in the comment box, and I will reach you out. So I think we already spent more than 1 hour. Yeah, it's a
It's a
really
long
literally
one.
really long interview. I was not thinking about the 1 hour. I was just thinking about the having the interview with you only for the 30 minute or 45 minute. The interviews is going very interesting. So I never
That's
see the
okay.
time.
I'm sure
So
your audience are not bored yet. I think we
yeah.
have still Isma, Reza, and Rahul. Hey Rahul, thanks for hopping on live. Hope you guys are not bored yet.
I I think they will watch in replay and they will get a lots of values from here. I hope so.
Hope
So
so.
guys, I haven't seen any questions in the comment box because the few people are watching here. I think we don't have the questions to answer. So I'm going to wrap up this interview now. So what is your final statement if you want to say something about our new affiliate market or our struggler affiliate market? You can just deliver your statement. Yeah.
You know what? I would say, guys, listen, don't get stuck in learning mode. Take imperfect action, because those imperfect action will take you to progression, and those progression will lead to get result. Okay, so that would be my last thing to say, because I've seen so many people just getting stuck into the learning mode and not taking action, and they've been in this business for good few months and still not seeing result. Why? Because they're not implementing. They're just learning and learning and learning. Having knowledge is not a big thing. Having the ability to implement those knowledge into practice is a big thing. So I would say, implement what you're learning every day. Take those imperfect action. Believe in yourself. If other people can do it, you can do it too. So just believe in yourself. Take action every day. Be consistent. Have some patience, and you will see the magic.
Yeah, absolutely. That is true. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time being here
You're
in
most
our interview.
welcome. My
I
pleasure.
hope, yeah, I hope we're gonna have some interview in the later if we get new information or the some kind of like that. So
Sure.
thank you so much for your time. Yeah, thank you so much, Kamala.
You're most welcome.
Yeah, yeah, thank you
And
so
thank
much.
you to
Okay.
all our viewers as well. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Take
thank you so
care.
much, guys, who are engaging, who are watching live. I will give a lots of information as I always give you. In the next interview, we're gonna pick someone, a great coach. Just wait and see. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for
Thank you so much.
thank you
Pleasure.
for your patience. Thank you, Kamala. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Good
Bye.
night. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.